Alright, so I should have started filming earlier, but this is how far I am into my prototyping, putting a motor on my Ascend H12. My plan is, I have this very thick plastic I got from a surplus store. It's super strong. And I'm going to put some hinges here for the motor mount. This is going to get cut down. There's going to be a 2x4 underneath. And so if I need to pull that motor up, these will be hinged up in a way. That's the plan. I'm going to try it that way. I don't know if it's going to work, but the block's going to be under here to space out for the clamp on the Minn Kota. And I'm thinking I'm going to put cut a piece of metal to go under these, under here, just so the bolts don't dig into the plastic. On the top, the bolts will be going through here, and on the bottom there'll be a piece of metal wherever the bolts have to touch, so the plastic itself doesn't get beat up. That's the idea I'm working with anyway. I am going to take the head off the Minn Kota, which I'm in the process of doing now. Actually turn this on so I can document which ones go where in the event that I want to put this back together, which I probably won't, but I'm not going to use the motor, the controls on the motor. I'm going to bypass that completely. So that's where I'm at. Stay tuned. Next part I'm going to do is raise the seat. I had this, when I raised the seat on my last kayak, I used this aluminum, angle aluminum. It was really strong, never had a problem with it. Held me up pretty good. I already did a test sit on it when I was sitting on the ground and felt pretty strong. I bet I could maybe reinforce it a little. But that stuff's pretty strong, and there'll be two pieces of it. You know, a lot of guys that go through here, that little bit here, but aluminum doesn't fit, and this seems to sit very nicely. So yeah, that's the plan for that, because while I like this boat a lot, I don't like sitting like deep in the hull when I'm fishing. I mean, I think it would be a better deal for someone who is more of a taking this on long trips, like doing some serious camping, and then sitting low is not a big deal. But if you're fishing, you really kind of want to sit above the water so you can see down in, you know, you can see bait fish better if you're looking down into the water as opposed to kind of across it through, like at an angle. So yeah, that's the other mod that's going to be happening. I'll probably be doing that before the motor, because the motor is going to require registration in New York State before I can use it, and I don't know if I'll have time to build it out and register it and, you know, have blah blah blah. But I'm going to get all the bits ready. But seats first. And the next thing after the seat is I gotta buy a new anchor trolley kit. I'm gonna put a zigzag cleat on here. And get some rod holders. Got these cool rails. My other kayak didn't have the rails, so I'm gonna see what accessories. Maybe one day I'll have a fish finder or something, but that's not happening anytime soon. When I cut these, what I like about the aluminum is that it cuts really easy. It's so thin, you can cut it on a chop saw. So I can cut this, I can miter these cuts, and then take a grinder, do something, get off that. Sharp bit. Paint it black. I'll probably paint everything just to keep the moisture off of it. Took apart the Minn Kota. So, oops, there goes that. Put this all back together, put it aside. Identified my power cables. Got these two guys where I'm probably just going to take these off and shove them back in the tube, just like pretty much every video I've watched on this, that's pretty much been the SOP on that. And then I'll probably use this in some capacity when I build my battery box and controller. Not sure if I want to mount the batteries in the front or in the back. This is a 40-pound thrust motor, which is definitely a bit more robust than most of the videos I've watched where they've used Minn Kotas. Guys are usually using 30, so this has got some weight to it. I was a little surprised when I bought it from the guy, and he told me he used it on a John boat, and he cruised on that. So it's going to be a bit overpowered for this boat. So I'm going to put the infinite speed controller for all this. I'm probably going to test it out the first few times and then put like a notch on it so it doesn't go past a certain point if I feel that it's getting a bit too much gas. Yeah, that's just part 2 of this build. Here in my garage. So yeah, I'm gonna get going on this, and we'll see what happens.